To begin with, I'd like to warmly welcome you to our ancient Frankopan castle of Grobnik. We hope that tonight's gathering and concert organized by Muzika u koracima and Katedra sabora Grobnišćine will remain in a fond memory of you. As a winner of a prestigious guitar competition in Luxembourg, how would you describe that experience? What did the victory mean to you personally?
It was very unexpected and a very big event for me, obviously, because the final was in a beautiful and huge venue. So, as I said, it was unexpected. I didn't think I could win such a big competition. I was super happy to receive the first prize, and I was pleasantly surprised after, because I didn't realize that I didn't read this in the regulation or website, that additional prizes to come to Croatia to play concerts. So I was surprised on stage that I learned that it's okay, I'm going to Croatia again, because actually I was in Croatia a few times before, and it's one of the most beautiful experiences for me personally to play here. So I'm even more thrilled to perform tonight. And very grateful for organization of this event.
You're currently in Croatia as a jury member at the international guitar competition organized by Slađana Čolović and the Muzika u koracima association. In your opinion, what is more challenging, being a competitor or being a judge?
Oh, that's a very good question, a very hard one. I would say they are both with totally different types of difficulty, because obviously as a performer we deal with all this stress on stage, or preparation, or ambition we have, all the things, the judging exposure, and all those things combined. They are like you need to really develop a strong gut to go on stage and to do your job professionally. But I think being a judge is none of those fears included, but it's another difficulty to be as honest with yourself and as honest with people you are judging, so you have later, when you are telling this to them, you tell everything what you wrote in your notes. So it's a skill of being very honest, truthful and objective, as well as serving those people who are playing and answering one simple question: what can those participants improve? Appreciating first where they are today, that they came on stage to play, they went through all this stress, preparation, they had the will to perform, against their will a lot of times, because we don't want to do that. We want to stay in the bed or eat nice food or go to swimming pool. We don't want to go on stage. They did that. So first appreciation, which is hard. And then, because we don't realize that at the moment, we are sitting comfortably as judges in the chairs. And then after, wondering an honest answer to the question, how can I help this person improve for the next time, and delivering that message as kindly as possible, not to kill the passions in those people.
Very good. Your musical career includes both solo performances and collaboration with orchestras. How do you prepare for these different types of performances?
Solo performance is something a little bit, I would say, more spontaneous, because I'm the only one in charge and only one on stage. So even if something is very momentary, like I have some feeling that I shall play different color, different tempo, I'm allowed to do that. I can even change the direction which whole piece is going through. I cannot play or do play the repetition of the piece. I can change the program in the middle. But when I play with orchestra, I'm first focusing on listening to other people and finding the perfect way how I can adjust and simultaneously deliver my message which I want, with as less talking as possible, because it's wasting of time on the rehearsals. I would say playing with orchestra for me it's very moving, it's very touching. I tend to cry on rehearsals because it's so unbelievable moment and it's so rare, right? Compared to solo performances, I think it's like ratio would be like 5% with orchestra, the rest of the performances is solo, and it's totally different type of excitement and stress. I would say it's more exciting event due to being so rare, but it also so unusual and unique because you tend to cooperate with people who do that every day or every week professionally, and you have an unusual and extraordinary opportunity to learn from them how to cooperate together to deliver to the audience the most beautiful possible message.
You are also known as a composer. Could you tell us more about your work in composition and what inspires you?
I wouldn't name myself a known composer, but thank you. To me, it's kind of battle with myself because I was composing since I remember composing. Maybe it's too big word, but inventing melodies, let's say, right? And then after turning them into pieces, usually composing or writing, leaving the compositions never played or never even finished sometimes, and for me it was very hard to even think about performing my own compositions myself. It was easier to write for someone or chamber music compositions because it's much nicer to listen to that perform and expose myself twice as a composer and a performer on judgment, right? So that was the risk which I was never willing to take. It changed this year actually. Maybe 1 year before, when I decided to start to play my small composition which I wrote for my wife, which is like 1 minute piece, and I decided to, okay, why not? I can play it, I can open it up because it's part of my story, part of my life. But then after I realized it's nice, and if I want to make some impact on guitar world and be myself, it's part of my obligation to do that, to deliver my own message and not to copy 1000th time Bach suite or something which was played already a million times, because world doesn't need that. And I think world needs something new, and it needs individual messages to the audience which will touch them. They need stories, and I want to deliver my story. And this is how, first time 1 month ago, I gave a concert with only my transcriptions and compositions. And here is the second time when I'm actually playing some of them. So today it's gonna be a Croatian premiere of my music.
Thank you very much. Your collaboration with Martin led to a premiere of Double Portrait, a concerta for 2 guitars and orchestra. How did that partnership came about, and what makes it special?
What makes it special? That she's my beloved wife now.
Oh.
Yes, and this Double Portrait concerto, actually we played it second time in the world, and it was on anniversary edition of the festival in Zielona Góra, the city when I was studying. Incredible place and absolutely lovely piece written by Marek Pasieczny, which is inspired by film music and instrumentation of John Williams. It's an extraordinary piece of music. And I was asked to play that double concerto and to participate in the festival because it was a anniversary edition of the festival, and I'm from there, so the organizers were kind enough to contact me and ask me to find a duo partner which I would wish to share the concerto with. And my usual permanent duo partner, which I play with for many years already, Mateusz Kowalski, was not available at the time. So I asked Kasi, which I met 1 month before that event, 1 month before that phone call. And she said yes. So the organizer was kind enough to organize a small tour of concerts. So we played 6 concerts during 1 week And we got so close during this 1 week that we decided to live together. And I moved to France thanks to this concerto. And funny story is I met the composer, Marek Pasieczny, because we know each other for a very long time, 1 month ago on the festival, and I personally thanked him for being a beginning of my marriage, because this is at the end of the day true.
Your album Delicious with Mateusz Kowalski combines music and wine.
Yes.
How did that idea originate, and how did the audience respond to such a unique concept?
This is a result of my two passions, first of which is music, second of which is wine.
Oh.
I was working with wines when I was in Poland. I was first working in a wine bar. My boss was a trained sommelier, and it was extraordinary work to experience wines. And for me, this is an art. For me, wine is something extraordinary, not only because of its taste values, but also of its social values and all the community gathering around this topic. And one of my dreams was, maybe still is, to become a wine professional at some point in my life. And I wanted to share those two passions and to connect them. So with cooperation with my former boss, we chose the selection of wine which would fit the character and origin of the music the best. So with Spanish wine we have Spanish music paired, and with Italian music we have Italian wine paired, and we tried to make the character of the wine as much reflecting the character of music as possible. And it ended up being a very successful idea for audience, and our premiere of the CD was incredible event in Warsaw University, when with Mateusz we played, and after we had a banquet with wine trials, some very small wine tasting of Spanish cava, because the first piece which opens the CD is Concierto de Aranjuez in my arrangement for two guitars. And this was a significant step in my and our duo with Mateusz development, and to see how art can be transparent and not only focusing on one thing only, but rather connect with the other disciplines.
Beautiful. You perform on historical instruments such as José Ramirez's third guitar from 1979. What draws you to these instruments, and how do they shape your sound?
For me, the most important thing in all the music, not even only the guitar, is color. So whenever I play the old instrument, it just has something unusual in it. If it's well made, of course, and it's not old, just basic guitar, of course, but I have few instruments, old instruments in my very modest collection. I cannot name it collection. I think I have like 5 guitars, most of which are old or very old. The oldest being 130 years old. Oh. It's a French guitar from Jérôme Thibault Villamy, from Mirecourt, and it's absolutely outstanding instrument. It's just my love and passion for unusual things which can reflect who I am even better than any nowadays instrument ever created. I maybe never met the guitar which would reflect what I want. For now, this is José Ramirez, which I'm absolutely in love with since the moment I saw it. I didn't, because the story was funny. The guitar was almost sold. And I came to this salon, I tried this guitar, and I say, I know you have a client for that. It's a big guitar. I don't know if my hand can resist this kind of tension, because it's 2.5 centimeters bigger than my last guitar. It's enormous difference for a guitarist. And I said, I'm taking this guitar, I'm borrowing it for a week. If after this week, this guitar is good for me and my hands can stand the pressure, I come with cash and I buy this. No talking, and I did it. Wow. And the owner of the salon was kind enough to borrow this guitar for me for 1 week. And that was no doubt for me. When I heard the sound of this guitar and when I was playing, I felt connected immediately. There is something about all the instruments which is particularly charming for me. It's not for everyone, but it's the same, which is particularly charming in older wines. Some people really like it, and I really do. When things really develop in time, I guess with age, character of whether it's wine or instrument settles, and it's easier to accommodate with my own desires. So this is why. And how it impacts the color, I think I feel, thanks to this guitar, let me say this shortly, thanks to this guitar I feel permitted to color as much as I want.
As someone who began music education at young age, what advice would you give to young guitarists who wish to follow a similar path?
I have a million thoughts now in my head. This is the question which I was never asked. I was always afraid. I was always afraid of. One advice for your generations: don't give up. This is the advice I will tell you. Don't give up, because at the end of the day, people who win in life are not the best, are those who can stay in the game the longest. Those are people who not only follow passion, not only who are talented, but the most hardworking. We tend as artists to demotivate, to quickly lose motivation, to quickly let our emotion fade, our affection disappears, but we have to remember what was our primal goal, and it's perfect in this situation to compare yourself with yourself only in 10 years. Would myself in 10 years be happy about my work today, or be happy about me giving up my guitar today, or not? Because at the end of the day, as I said, the only people who win in life, whether it's career, a romantic life, passion life, work life, are those who don't give up and stay the longest in the game. Because time, to be extraordinary, is to make ordinary things for extraordinary period of time. This is what most of guitarists and artists, they don't understand. And they need a lot of years of pain and experience to learn that. Being extraordinary is doing ordinary things for an extraordinary period of time, because time is crucial here, not the skill.
Very wise. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last question, what are your future plans? Are there any new project or collaborations on the horizon that you'd like to share with us?
Absolutely. And there are many. First of all is, as I mentioned, I got enough courage in my life to present my own music, which I started to write, and I will publish it very soon. Both my arrangements and both my compositions on my website, which is created just 2 months ago. I just recorded half of the some kind of online course tutoring material, because I feel urge to share all my experience with younger generation, with people who were in my place where I was 10 years ago, and I didn't receive that information. I needed this type of motivation. I didn't get it. I almost quit guitar. Actually, I did quit guitar for 1 year. I started to teach. My life was passionless, full of pretension, because I gave up. And it was much harder to come back than before. It was much harder to come back than before. But at the end of the day, I think this is crucial for me, the mission of sharing, to save those people time, effort, disappointment, being pissed for years, and giving up probably beautiful talents they have in their hands.
Thank you, Tomasz, for sharing
Thank you so
your
much.
thought with us.
Thank you so much.